Welcome back, guys. Quick update. So I drove up from Sydney back up to Newcastle, where my van was. I've been speaking to this guy like for, you know, cash for cars. I drove up after work today, 3 hours. I got here, I emptied out the van and everything, and yeah, gonna sleep here in this hotel. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna go out to Newcastle, give him the key, sign the papers, and finally I'll be done with this van, bro. Like, look, this van was great. It served me well. It was really cheap when I bought it. It lasted like 2 years pretty much. Yeah, what, 2 years now? Year and a half, 2 years. I definitely made good money from it. I used it a lot for my old business, selling timber. I used it now for like carpentry work. It was a great van. But it is what it is. It's one of those things like, you can't get attached too much. And the funny thing is, like, it's just a car, it's just a van, but it's got more meaning to me because it kind of it was at the transition. It was like that was my transition between being a kid and being an adult. Like when I was a kid, I drove like a nice ute. I bought like a Ford Ranger, clean XL. It was a Ford Ranger XL High Rider. It wasn't like a Wild Track or even the XLTs, but it was like a nice High Rider. It was clean, massive wheels, and it was like a bit of money was put into it. And then I sold that and I bought my XR6 Ute, and like that was also even more clean. That was crazy. It was a crazy Ute, man. And I sold the Ute, the XR6, and I bought with that money, like I bought tools, I bought machines for my workshop, and I bought the van. So this van was kind of like, that was representing my transition to being more responsible, more mature with my finances. Because the way I see it was, yeah, okay, my XR6, I was using it for work, but it wasn't a very smart purchase, especially at the age of, 22. It was a liability, realistically. You used a lot of petrol, too much petrol. Like, you used way too much petrol. Like, I was spending like $200 to $300 a week on petrol, driving my XR6, and like this van was still a bit pricey in petrol, not as bad. But it's one of those things, like the condition wasn't the best, so I just run around, throw timber in it, fill it up with timber, don't care if it gets scratched, just hammering this thing. I destroyed this thing for 2 years. Bloody, the thing's got 500,000 Ks on it. So, it served me well. But, there was problems with the motor, and I feel like this in itself, this whole thing happening with this van, it's like the new transition. So originally my transition was from spending too much money on a car and wasting money on a ute, like a nice fancy ute for work. At a young age, it was a lump sum that I shouldn't have spent. Like I spent like almost 15K on that, on my XR6. I drove it heaps, I thrashed it, I pumped it, bro. Put an exhaust system. I put an exhaust. I got put nice new rims on it, a bit of this, bit of that. And like I spent about 15 grand on it, plus the petrol was so expensive. And I just thrashed this thing, man. Like every single day driving it, I hammered it, bro. And I sold it, I can't even remember how much I sold it for. I bought it for 12.7. I put like maybe 2 grand into it. I drove it for like 2 years. I thrashed it got scratched. There was like scratches and stuff on it. Like it was showing a lot of wear and tear on it. And it was high kilometers. And I think I put like 20, 30,000 Ks on it. And I didn't get like my money's back. I lost a couple grand on it. I can't remember the exact number that I sold it for, but it wasn't great. And the comparison with that to my van, I paid like 1 grand for it. Like I literally paid nothing. It was a really cheap van. I used it for 2 years, and it was an asset. And why I say it was a transition, because I sold my liability, which was the XR6. It was a liability, and I bought an asset, which was the van. And yeah, it was cheap, and that's the best part. It was cheap. Even running it was cheap. Like it's not as cheap as I'd like it to be. It was still like my van was costing me driving heaps, like proper heaps, like 3 hours a day driving. It was costing me about 200 a week, which is still cheaper than my XR6 Plus in the van, like I had a lot more stuff in it, like a lot more tools and just heavier in general. So, but yeah, that's life. Things like these things happen for a reason, and it's happening. It happened at a really bad time, because literally the day after I signed my contract for the property I want to buy in Queensland, day after I signed that, like I need to get settlement's coming up soon. I need money for the deposit. Like I've got so many things financially that I'm like not stressing. I'm running around trying to save up money. The van breaks down, so kind of happened at a very bad time. But the only thing I can do is just be positive. Like it happens for a reason. Who knows? And I'm gonna know that reason soon. I won't know what the reason is right now, but I'm gonna know soon. And I feel like the next transition. It's like the van was there, my old van that I have now, that I'm getting rid of. It was there, it helped me when I needed it. But now that I'm upgrading my life, and I'm more mature, I'm more responsible with my money, and with my, like, in life in general, I'm more mature, I'm more responsible than I was 2 years ago. Like now there's bigger things that are gonna happen, and I don't even know what they are. But these improvements in my life, like, they have to happen. These negative things, they're only negative if you're a negative person. But if you're positive minded, all of these little things that arise, all these problems or things that happen, these mishaps, if you're a positive minded person, you'll see them in a positive way. Some people, like I remember one of my mates told me, oh, you were driving such a nice ute, and now look what you're driving. You're driving a little van that's all damaged. And I'm like, bro, the ute that I was driving was expensive, yeah, but it was a waste of money, and I was using it for work, and I was thrashing it. Like every time I drove that ute, I was losing money. Now, or not now, but back then, now I'm driving a van which costs me almost nothing, and every time I drive it, I make money because I use it to sell timber. That's back then. So it's like putting it all into perspective. Now, okay, I don't have a van anymore. I got to look for something new to buy, especially if I'm gonna go down to Queensland in a couple of weeks to do the renovation. But it's just like I'm just being patient. I don't want to jump onto anything anytime, like right now. Like it's too soon. I'm gonna clear my mind. Like once this van's gone out of my head, then I'll have like a clearer mind, clearer headspace. I can plan better, I can think better. And I just need to take my time and shop around, see what there is. Like I might go buy a ute again instead of a van. I might buy a van, I might buy a truck. You know, I've been looking around for about between 10 to 20k. So between 10 to 20k, I can buy a ute, a van, or a truck, one of those. And it's like I'm just thinking about it, like what's the best thing to do? What's the most viable option? Like what suits me the most? A van, a ute, or a truck? Who knows? So I just want to wait for the right opportunity. I don't want to waste money. I don't want to waste time thinking or stressing about things I don't need to stress about, because it's just money. At the end of the day, all these things are just money. It comes and goes. My health is great. I have good health, alhamdulillah. Like I'm strong. I'm very like physically I'm well. Mentally I'm strong. Emotionally I'm strong, and that's all I care about. I don't care about financially. Financially, anyone can be rich, anyone can be broke. It's all in here. I'm glad that my body is strong. I'm well, and I'm able. and that's it. Everything else is just a bonus. Of course, we work hard. We work really hard to achieve what we want and make money and business and all that, 100%. But that's just a bonus. You know, I'm happy that I'm strong and I'm well and I'm able. I'm not this. I have two legs that I can walk on. I have two hands that I can use to work. I have a mouth that works and my eyes I can see. These things are more important than money, because money, even if you have no legs, you can make money. Even if you can't see, you can make money. But if you don't have eyes, you can't see, then you can't see. You can't change that, bro. It doesn't change. So alhamdulillah, I'm happy for that. So now it's just a matter of patience. Like I'm in a motel room. Like I paid $70 for this place, and it's a big crap. But I've slept in worse places, and alhamdulillah, I've got a roof over my head. So I'm pretty happy, man. I just gotta stay patient. Tomorrow, like I gotta wake up early, follow my normal routine, wake up early. Um, yeah, I need to go down to Newcastle. I'm gonna go to the gym first thing because I want to wake up at 4. I'll wake up, I'll meditate, I'll go down to Newcastle, I'll go gym over there. There should be a gym there, the one that I'm like Anytime Fitness. We'll see what happens.